Alright guys, so today we are going to be doing CHING number 60. Can't believe that we're on number 60 already. I feel this is my 60th CHING. I'm trying to like wrap my brain around that. Alright, so we're going to start in with where we left off. I do have a lot of good CHINGs in this one, so I'm excited to share them with you. So the first thing that I have that we left off on was a little UNESCO owl. This was called a weather forecaster. I don't know how, but I guess it's supposed to change colors or something depending on the weather. I don't know exactly how accurate that is. It seems a little crazy. But anyway, that sold for $19.99. I sold a Bath & Body Works Happy Vibes body spray. This did go to a subscriber, and that sold for $35.99. The Happy Vibes fragrance is a discontinued Bath & Body Works fragrance, so it does sell really well if you happen to come across any lotions or sprays or anything like that in this particular Bath & Body Works scent. Definitely worth picking up. Next item I have was a Tignanello blue purse. I picked this up at a yard sale. I think I paid just $1 for it, and that sold for $25.99. I didn't mention what I paid for the Bath & Body Works spray. I think that was $2 or $3. I got that at a yard sale. And then the owl came from an auction winning. I had won like a bunch of owls at the auction. I never did haul them, but I have quite a few still listed, and I actually have a couple that I have not listed yet. Next we have a Fenton Epernay. This was like a 3 kind of trumpet vase. This was a white milk glass hobnail. This sold for $49.99. I did get this at a yard sale, and I think I paid $5 for it, potentially a little bit more. It was definitely under 10. Yeah, if I would ever see those again, I would probably pick them up. I feel like that was a milk glass Fenton piece that was selling really well. Next we have an amber colored tobacco jar. I won this at an auction as well, and I didn't pay much for it at all. I want to say I might have even won it for $1. Nobody wanted it. I sold it for $45.99. I also have another Fenton piece. This one is a blue perfume bottle, glass perfume bottle. It did have a stopper on it. That sold for $29.99, and that also came from an auction. It was in a box lot or on a tray, a flat that I had won at the auction. Next we have a Philosophy perfume. This was in the fragrance Sea of Love. That sold for $29.99. I got that at a yard sale, and I think I paid $2 or $3 for it, and it was new. Next I have a pair of Clark's sandals. I know I was saying in some of my latest CHINGs, I should say, that I'm being very particular with what Clark's I've been picking up. Now I had these for a little while, but this is definitely a style that I would continue to pick up. I mean, they're still very fashionable and that kind of thing, and these were, if not brand new, in like new condition, and they sold for $39.99. I feel like those did come from a yard sale, and I probably paid about $5 for them. I sold a pair of black Birkenstock sandals. I got these at a fill-a-bag rummage sale, so in the grand scheme of things, I paid probably about $1 for them. They obviously were used. They still sold for $50, which is awesome. So now I definitely pick up every pair of Birkenstocks that I see. They do sell. They don't all sell for, a crazy amount of money, but they do definitely sell. Next we have those vintage from 1982. These were called Love Buds. They were an older 80s toy. just like a little plastic flower, and you would water them and the petals would open up and there was a little tiny doll inside. I got these at a yard sale. It was a bag of them, and I think I paid $1 to $3. I can't remember exactly. I have 3 in my head, but I'm not quite sure if I paid that much. Anyway, those sold for $29.99. I never ever have found those out in the wild before until that day. Next we have that Rhythm Japan cow clock. So this was definitely my biggest sale of this CHING. I found this at a Goodwill store. I probably paid, I'd say maybe $4.99 for it in the store. At the time, I did have it listed really, really high, and they were selling high, but mine, it had the box, it had like all the paperwork and everything, so I kind of, you know, listed it on the higher side, and it was sitting for a while. But the right buyer did come along and purchased it at $299.99. So that was still an amazing sale. So I didn't get what I originally had it priced at, but it did still sell for way more than what I paid for it. Next we have a Franciscan Atomic Starburst. These were salt and pepper shakers. Those sold for $99.99, and I won a whole bunch of Franciscan Atomic Starburst pieces at an auction. I did pay up for them, but I've sold all of them except for 2 little tiny saucers I think I still have available, and those aren't really worth much. But all the other pieces sold, and they sold for very good money. So I definitely did awesome. I did profit a lot of money off those, so that is awesome. Next we have a Mickey Mouse pin. This is shaped like Mickey Mouse with his ears, and it just has like a patriotic American flag type look to it. That sold for $9.99, and I got that at a yard sale, and I probably paid $1 for it. Next we have a Relativity suede top. This did go to a subscriber, and it sold for $18.99, and that came from the Facebook Marketplace garbage bag of clothes. I think that's the only piece that I have in this CHING. Next we have another auction win. This was a vintage Foley measuring spoons. These were still on their original packaging. I sold those for $39.99, and I can't remember exactly what I paid for the flat that they were on at the auction, but it wasn't much, so I made a great profit on those. I sold the next 2 items to a subscriber, the first one being a Betsey Johnson Betsy-fied perfume that sold for $19.99, and the other was a Betsey Johnson lipstick set that sold for $10.99, and I got both of those items at Walmart while they were on clearance. So this would have been back during the holiday area, like after Christmas type of thing. Next we have a Topper Dawn lot. This was just a vintage lot of Topper Dawn dolls. There were also some other dolls mixed in and some accessories and things like that. I won that lot at the auction. It sold for $56, so more than I paid for it, so I did get profit off of that. Next item also went to a subscriber. This was a set of vintage Tupperware measuring cups. These were a nice bright cherry yellow color. Those sold for $15.99, and I got those at a yard sale for $1. I definitely like to pick up vintage Tupperware items, especially the measuring cups and the measuring spoons. I definitely feel that if you have the matching set of cups and spoons, you'll get a higher price than just having the cups or just having the spoons. And obviously it's best to have the complete set of cups and the complete set of spoons, because sometimes you find them and it's like missing one of the cups and stuff like that. So I don't tend to pick those up. I like to get the ones that are complete. Next we have a zebra latch hook kit. This I picked up at a yard sale. I think I paid $1 or $2 for it. It was brand new, still sealed, and that sold for $35.99. Next item was a Victoria's Secret body spray in the scent Dreamy Vanilla. That sold for $24.99, and I got that at a yard sale as well, and I probably paid about $2 or $3 for it. I sold a Sony Dream Machine clock radio. This was actually brand new. That sold for $49.99. I think I paid $5 for it at the yard sale. Next item was a stoneware pottery mug. It had little sheep on, very, very cute. That sold for $19.99, and I got that at a yard sale. I probably paid $1 or less for that. Next item was also a vintage Franciscan atomic starburst piece. This one sold for the most amount of money out of all the pieces that I had won at the auction. This was an ashtray, so this piece just definitely harder to find. I sold that for $199.99, so that was amazing. Next item we have is a pasta bowl by a company called Cordon Bleu. I picked this up at Goodwill, and I probably paid about 99 cents or $1.99 for it, and that sold for $19.99. Next item also came from a yard sale. This is a vintage Pizza Party board game. So if you ever see this board game, definitely pick it up. Obviously make sure all the pieces are there. There's not a whole lot of many pieces to it, so it won't take you long to figure out if they're all there. Anyway, that sold for $49.99, and I'm pretty sure I paid $1 to $2 for that. I sold a two-piece set of Craftsman pliers. These were brand new, still in their original packaging. Those sold for $59.99. These came from a box lot at an auction. Didn't pay much for it at all. Eric was interested in picking those up to sell, and they sold very, very fast. Next we have a women's Pendleton floral coat. This was so pretty. It took forever to sell, and it didn't sell for much. It sold for $17.99. So I always thought Pendleton was a really good brand to pick up, but obviously not all of it is really worth a whole heck of a lot. That probably came from a thrift store, and I'm not exactly sure what I paid for it. Like I said, I had it for a very long time. Next we have a Bath & Body Works perfume in the scent Cucumber Melon. That sold for $39.99, and that did come from a yard sale. I probably paid $2 or $3 for it. This next item was a Raggedy Ann doll, but I had never seen anything like it before. There was actually a knob on her back side that when you moved it, it was like a music box. It played, I think it was Rockabye Baby. So yeah, that came from an auction. They just threw it in with other stuff. Like at the auction, if people aren't bidding on something, they'll throw other stuff with it to entice people to bid. Or if it's just something completely random, they'll just throw it with something else to kind of like get it moving kind of thing. So I didn't necessarily want this Raggedy Ann doll, but it was with some other pieces that I had won, so I decided to list it, and I did sell that for $19.99, so not bad. Next item was an AXO motocross shirt that sold for $31. I paid $2 for it at a yard sale. It wasn't even in the best condition. Funny thing, I had gotten 2 motocross shirts from this yard sale like a year prior, and I sold those for like way more. They were very vibrant, in way better condition. But I left this one sit because I was like, it's not in that great condition. I'm not buying it. The following year, I go back to their yard sale and it's still there. So I just was like, I'm just gonna pick it up. So I did, and it ended up selling. So I'm glad that I decided to pick it up anyway. Next we have a pair of Gap shorts. These are kind of like they were very thick, like made of wool. So I think that they would be good in fall with like a pair of like really funky colored tights type of thing. These sold for $8.99. I had them forever, absolutely forever. Just wouldn't sell, wouldn't sell, wouldn't sell. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Gap brand to sell. I just feel like the stuff doesn't sell for much, and it takes forever to sell, at least in my opinion. And then the last item that I have for this cha-ching is an outfit that I found at Goodwill. They were selling this separately. They weren't selling it together. So I did pay, I want to say $4.99 for each piece. And it was by a company called Putmayo or Putmayo. That sold for $49.99. So just a cute vintage outfit, very unique, very interesting, and even had the original tags, and the prices on the original tags were really expensive as well. So I just decided to pick it up, and it did sell. So that's awesome. That's everything for this cha-ching. Not like a super long cha-ching. I know in my last video I was complaining about my back hurting. It's still the same day that I recorded my last video, so I'm trying not to sit for too long because it hurts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. At the end of the video, I typically talk about any issues that have arisen with eBay. All of the stuff that was mentioned in this cha-ching, I didn't have any issues. I didn't have any non-paying bidders at this time. So as far as any issues lately, not much has been happening. I can't think of anything that's really been an issue lately. I did have a couple non-paying bidders recently, but not a whole lot. I definitely feel like that is not as a prevalent problem as it had been in the past, but you know, you just never know when those issues are going to arise. But other than that, everything has been pretty smooth sailing. Sales have been decent. I haven't been listing as much as I'd like to right now, just because, you know, Eric is sick and my back hurts and I'm behind on recording videos, and you know, so I need to buckle down and get some stuff listed, because with eBay's algorithms, like if you continuously keep listing, I definitely feel like obviously that means you're getting more listings up, and the more listings you have, obviously the better chance you're going to sell something, because you have more to offer, you have more for people to buy, kind of thing. So I need to get some stuff listed. But that is everything for this cha-ching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You'll have to let me know what you thought down in the comments, how things are for you lately on eBay, how your sales are, and things like that. So I will see you guys next time.